Good morning, boys and girls. The story that I'm going to read with you guys today is called The Paperboy. The Paperboy's story and paintings are done by Dave Pilkey. Now, do you see the little picture right here? This book won the Caldecott Honor Award. And the Caldecott Medal, if you remember, is a medal for the illustrations. And this one didn't actually win the whole medal, but it won an honor for the Caldecott Medal. So I hope you enjoy the story, The Paperboy. So if you look in this picture, you can see that the Paperboy does his work when it's still dark at night. Can you see the moon that's still in the sky? And you can see the stars that are there. So down here, you can see that it says Morning Star Gazette. And when they deliver the newspapers, they deliver them early in the morning because a lot of people like to read them when they first get up out of bed, like to read them with their breakfast and their morning coffee. The mornings of the Paperboy are still dark and they are always cold, even in the summer. And on these cold mornings, the Paperboy's bed is still warm, and it is always hard to get out, even for his dog. So here he is asleep in his bed, and it's so nice and comfy that he doesn't want to get up in the morning because it's cold outside. I don't blame him. I think I'd want to stay in bed too. But they do. So here he is tying his shoes, and here his dog is starting to raise up his ears because he's excited to go outside with him to deliver the newspapers. And softly they step down the quiet hall, past the door where the Paperboy's father and mother are sleeping, past the door where his sister is asleep. So they tiptoe very quietly because everybody else in the house is still asleep. And down to the kitchen where they eat from their bowls. So it looks like the puppy is having some dog food and he's having his cereal at the table all by himself. And out to the garage where they quickly fold their papers, snapping on green rubber bands and placing them in a large red bag. Isn't it nice how his dog is holding the bag open for him? That's kind of cool, huh? It's hard to ride a bike when you are loaded down with newspapers, but the Paperboy has learned how to do this, and he is good at it. And look how he has a light on his bike so that he can see. Very convenient, I think. The Paperboy knows his route by heart, so he doesn't ever think about which house to pedal to. Instead, he is thinking about other things, big things, and small things. And sometimes he is thinking about nothing at all. His dog, too, knows this route by heart. He knows which trees are for sniffing, he knows which bird baths are for drinking, which squirrels are for chasing, and which cats are for growling at. And there he is chasing one of the cats right there. All the world is asleep except for the Paperboy and his dog. And this is the time when they are the happiest. It's kind of little, but you can see there he goes with his dog following right behind him. Aren't the pictures beautiful, boys and girls? I understand why this book won the Caldecott Honor Medal. But little by little, the world around them wakes up. The stars and the moon fade away, and the skies become orange and pink. What else about this picture lets you know that the world is waking up? Look at it for just a second. Yeah, did you see how the colors in the sky have changed? So the sun is creeping up over the mountains, just like the mountains that we have in Utah. And it's creeping up, and as it starts to shine, it changes the colors in the sky. Did you also notice about how some of the lights are coming on in the houses as people are waking up. And I know that's what I do when I wake up, is I turn on the lights so that I can see. And when the paper boy has delivered his last newspaper, he and his dog race home, and his empty red bag flaps behind him in the cold morning air. Did you see how the sky has gotten even brighter? His light is still on a little bit, but it doesn't have to shine near as bright as it did when it was really dark outside, huh? And look at the dog. See his tongue hanging out? I bet he's pretty tired after delivering all those papers. Soon they are back home. It is still dark inside, but the sounds of the morning are all around. His father and mother are awake and talking softly in their bed. And his sister is downstairs watching Saturday morning cartoons. And back inside his own room, the paper boy pulls down his shade and crawls back into his bed, which is still warm. And while all of the world is waking up, the paper boy is going back to sleep. And his dog is sleeping too. Their work is done. And now is the time for dreaming. Now, the paper boy, he was pretty young, wasn't he? And he had a really important, responsible job. Because if he didn't deliver the papers on Saturday morning, the people in his neighborhood wouldn't have their papers to read. So, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed the story, and I hope you enjoyed looking for things with me in the book. I miss you very much, and I love you guys. Have a wonderful day.